Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of How to Play Minecraft with me, Thrillash. I think this is episode 13 if I'm counting correctly. I might not be. But yeah, today we are going to start doing some potion brewing. I really wanted to go over this for a little while and it'll help us fight the dragon. So without further ado, cue the music. Now, those of you with keen eyes may have seen this over here. To prep for our potion brewing, I've actually put a little bit of landscaping. That's what it's called, Throw. I put some landscaping here. We're going to have to do more. I would like to extend this, I think, all the way to here, perhaps, and kind of have this bow out a little bit. I know I carved this back before, but I would like to put it back. I think our potion brewing is going to go around here-ish. We're going to put a little potion hut. But back there, I would like to put something else. But in order to get another igloo, I need a lot more snow. So I made this. Now, this is a dual action snow farm. Essentially, what it does is if you have Silk Touch on a shovel and you walk up to this little area here and hit this, you will get some snow layers. Whereas if you don't have Silk Touch on a shovel and hit this here, you will get snowballs. And how we're going to make our igloos from now on is using this gentleman right here. Thank you very much for being stuck in here forever. And we will go ahead and get snowballs from this sirs. And it'll be fantastic, absolutely. Now, this is a Frillioth design. Huge friend of mine, absolutely love the guy. I will go ahead and put the description, a link to the video in the description on how to do this. It goes over a couple things that we haven't gone over before. Essentially, the biggest one being underneath this snow layer right here, you can see there's a block. Inside that block is a hopper minecart. Now, if you put a hopper minecart inside of a block, usually what happens is you will be able to collect anything that falls on top of this block here. So if I throw this dirt, hopper minecart's going to scoop it up, and then underneath that hopper minecart is a hopper. So eventually, we will see that dirt show up here in this, either this or one of the slots near it. And there it is, perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and stand here for a little while and gather up a bunch of snowballs so we can go ahead and make our igloo. Now, I'm kind of hoping this is going to be enough. It might not be. I'm not really sure. This is one of the first builds that I haven't planned before I've started doing it. But as the sun goes down here, let's take a little quick nap next to our obnoxiously loud pigs. All right, now that we're away from those freaking... Oh my gosh, they're so loud. Anyways, essentially what I was thinking here is I was just going to build like I don't know, like a weird 1, 2, 3, and then build almost like a circular igloo out of this guy. I don't really know. I'll be back in a minute. We might do a time lapse of this, or I might just build it and get it over with. Well, it's rather large, but actually kind of nice and quaint at the same time, fits in with the rest of the theme. And it's snowing, as you can see, and this is kind of something that I wanted to go over with snow layers. As you can see, we have one snow layer on the ground almost at all times. Nice thing about using the little snowman thing and using Silk Touch is you get snow layers here, right? And what you can do with that is you can actually add up a bunch of snow layers literally until you get to another block, as you can see. I think this will break down into a snow block now. It will, as opposed to giving us the snow layers back. So why is that cool? Well, you can add a bunch of extra detail just by adding depth to builds and the surrounding areas, etc. Just by going around and placing down some more snow layers on this, that, and you know, more here, more there, etc., etc. Snow layers add a lot, a lot of depth to a build, which is really great. Now, we aren't here to talk about snow layers, we're here to talk about potions, and I added these support beams. I think they add a little bit extra, but they might get in the way depending on what we're trying to do here, so I might get rid of them at some point. But anyways, we're going to go ahead and plop down a crafting table and make this look like a little alchemy area. And one of the ways we're going to do that is we're going to make some chains, and I really hope this works out. It might not. And honestly, if it doesn't, that's alright. It's Minecraft. We can tear it down. We can try again, etc. But what I want to do here is have like a hanging table for our brewing stand. And what that actually might turn into is a hanging table over here or maybe over here. But I would like to try it in the center of the room here. We're going to just use some chains here to come down. And then on the bottom side of this chain, hopefully we should be able to plop a trapdoor, which we certainly can. Look at that. Now, on that trapdoor, we should be able to add other trapdoors, and I'll make it so they are arranged the same. But essentially, I want to make it look like this table is being hung from the ceiling, right? The problem with that becomes when we try to walk around this room, essentially, and it gets a little difficult because to make this table look halfway decent, you know, besides making it all go in the same direction, we're not going to be able to go through these these beams over here without closing the trapdoors, which doesn't really make any sense. But let me go ahead and figure out how the heck I want this thing arranged, and then we'll get into the brewing side of this episode. Alright, folks, I'm actually pretty proud of this one. This one looks pretty interesting. It's way more decorated than I think any of the other ones we've done so far. I kind of have, like, the nether seeping into this for some reason. I planted these Nether Wart down and then decided, you know, it'd be pretty cool to get some color in here, and I think it turned out pretty well. We got some storage over here with some water, and here are our brewing stands. Now, you need a couple of things in order to brew potions. One of the most important things is a brewing stand. You need to be able to brew potions, and the way you make that is you grab yourself a blaze rod, and I just had to run back. You grab yourself a blaze rod and 3 pieces of cobblestone, and that gets you a brewing stand, okay? You can go ahead and place a brewing stand pretty much anywhere, and then the pickaxe is the preferred tool to pick up a brewing stand. Now, the next thing you need is you need a way to power the brewing stand, essentially give it heat. So you need some blaze powder for this, so we'll go ahead and put this in the little blaze powder slot, and you'll see there's really not much going on here. Once I click in this lights up right here, and this is kind of like your power, your heat, more or less, that the brewing stand is able to use. The next thing you need are glass bottles. Now, if you grab 3 pieces of glass, in this case I have 6 just because I have 2 brewing stands, and you put them in this sort of formation here, kind of like a U, you will get yourself 3 glass bottles. I'm going to go ahead and do that again, so we get 6. And the reason you need bottles is because you actually have to brew bottles in the brewing stand here. This is how you get your potions, right? You put them in bottles. Now, as you can see, look at that, local brewery. We haven't even made anything yet. As you can see, once you put bottles into a brewing stand, it changes the way that it looks. The other thing you're going to need is water, and that's what the cauldrons are for here. Now, if you take empty glass bottles and you right-click on a cauldron, you'll see that we reduce the number of glass bottles, but we instead get water bottles. Now, I'll go ahead and drain this cauldron here, and it's 3 glass bottles will drain a cauldron, 1, 2, and 3. And don't worry, we'll come up with some sort of mechanism to reload these cauldrons to infinity. But I can go ahead and then right-click on one of these and put 3 water bottles into the brewing stand instead. Now, the last thing, and probably one of the most important things, is the ingredients. And the ingredients are... that's where it gets a little bit complicated. Now, the problem with brewing, Minecraft brewing, is you have to... I cannot find a good angle. There we go. You have to remember the brewing recipes. And I cannot remember most of them, if not literally all of them. Most of your potions are going to start out with Nether Wart, and Nether Wart will make an awkward potion, and I believe this here is fully grown Nether Wart. If I go ahead and break that, yep, I go ahead and I get myself 4 pieces of Nether Wart. And if I take that Nether Wart and I go ahead and I put it in the top part of this brewing stand here, you'll see we have some bubbles going up and we have our arrow going down, right? And what that means is the brewing stand is actually brewing stuff. And I have a little chest of Nether Wart over here. Now, once this gets down to the bottom, you'll hear a little brewing noise. There it is, perfect. And another one should happen here in just a second, but that will get you awkward potions. Now, I would say, gosh, 80 to 90% of potions in Minecraft are started with awkward potions. So you need to go ahead and make sure that you're farming Nether Wart. Nether Wart grows relatively slowly, and it should farm as long as you just put it on top of soul sand, almost in any environment whatsoever. So not really a big deal where you plant it. Just make sure you're planting a decent amount of it. And once you get your awkward potions, then you can go ahead and brew some of your other potions, like potions of strength, healing, water breathing, night vision, etc., etc. Now, over here in this chest, I do have some potion ingredients, and you think maybe some of these shouldn't be, like the golden carrot and the spider eye, etc. Now, spider eyes usually aren't just potion ingredients by themselves. Usually you need to ferment them, and a fermented spider eye is a spider eye with a brown mushroom and some sugar in a crafting table. Now, one of the most important potions that you can have on you at all time when you're doing anything anywhere even close to the nether, and now in this new edition mining, is a fire resistance potion. Now, what that requires is magma cream. So I'm going to take that magma cream. We have our awkward potions here from our Nether Wart, and I'm going to go ahead and put this magma cream in the exact same spot that I put the Nether Wart in. And as you can see, the brewing stand is brewing. So it will go ahead and make us a potion of fire resistance in a second. And there we go, we have our fire resistance potions. Now, a lot of people call these Wimpy Potions, and essentially, every time you go in the nether, you should bring one with you, just in case you randomly find yourself in lava. It happens. Just bring them with you. Now, the reason I have the redstone dust and the gunpowder here in my inventory is because with almost all potions, you can go ahead and add either redstone dust and glowstone dust. I know, let's pretend right here is glowstone dust, right? And what redstone dust does when you add it to an already made potion is it extends the time the potion lasts. So as you can see right here, fire resistance 3, that's fire resistance for 3 minutes. Now, if I go ahead and put this redstone dust in here, once it's done brewing up, it will actually give us fire resistance for 8 entire minutes. So it more than doubles the amount of fire resistance that we get. And fire resistance is going to give you complete immunity to fire and lava, anything heat damage, right? So I can take this fire resistance potion and I will be able to swim in lava for 8 minutes, right? Now, the gunpowder is a little bit special because what you can do is, I'm not going to do this right now, you can plop this in here, and instead of making this a potion that you drink, right, so I can go ahead and take these off of here, instead of holding down right click, I'm not going to drink the whole thing, right, so instead of holding down right click and making it a potion you can drink, you can brew it with some gunpowder, and what that does is it makes it a projectile. It actually is called a splash potion. So when you right click, it would throw this potion across the room and it would splash on the ground, and wherever it splashed, whoever was close to it would get an effect of whatever potion it is. Now, it's interesting because the length and the strength of the potion effect depends on how close you are to the splash. So normally a lot of people bring splash potions and then they throw them directly up in the air, so they splash down at their feet, so they get the best effect and the longest effect of that potion. Now, another fun potion you can make is a night vision potion, and that's made with a golden carrot. And you can make a golden carrot by grabbing a regular carrot, putting it in the center of a crafting table, and then surrounding it with gold nuggets. Not gold bars, gold nuggets, okay? And I know that's a brewing stand, just pretend it's a carrot. And that will get you a golden carrot. Now, we've got night vision potions, okay? And essentially what that does is if you go anywhere that is dark, no, I don't want gunpowder, I want redstone dust, and you plop a night vision potion, it'll look like the entire world is covered in light level 15. It just brightens up everything. And the reason that night vision potions are useful is not so much in the nether and not so much in the end where the dragon is. More or less it's when you're caving or when you're underwater. It's usually very hard to see underwater, so bringing some night vision potions with you underwater is a great idea if you're exploring underwater areas. There are also there is another potion. It's called the potion of water breathing, which is also very important while you're exploring underwater, and that's made with a puffer fish. Now I'm going to go ahead and put a graphic on the screen that's going to show every single potion and how to make it. All right, it's a big graphic, so I would suggest that you go down into the comments in the description of the video, excuse me, and you click on the link where this graphic is located. It's actually on the Minecraft wiki, and it will show you how to make every single potion in this game. Well, ladies and gents, we are back from a live stream. Actually, we worked a bit on our mine, and let's go take a look, see what's going on here. We didn't work on the front much. I'm still kind of deciding what I want to do with that, but we widened the entire tunnel out and then put these kind of like support things on the side. They're just two trapdoors on top of each other. I have a bunch of spruce wood, so it just kind of fit, and I wanted to put those anywhere where there wasn't like there's a cave, I guess. There's not a wall of stone, just, you know, quote unquote, keep us safe inside the walkway here. And down towards the bottom, I started putting together the design that I'm going for this particular area. If we get past these guys here, we just keep going. This is kind of what I was going for, is, you know, break up some of these walls a little bit and then just put these fence posts in to make it look like we're holding the wall together as we go up and down this area. And I figured, you know, we could hide some ores back there too every now and then. Redstone's gonna look really good. We'll get some copper back there as well. I thought there was some copper up here somewhere. Maybe I'm mistaken, but yeah, that's kind of the way our mine entrance is going to look for right now. There's that copper right there. Yeah, and then eventually, once we go over minecart mechanics, which might be the next episode, we'll start that. We'll have a minecart that goes up and down this track here, this center piece here, so we don't have to run up and down. We just get in a minecart and just scoot our way down there. But anyways, let's get into the changes that I made in our brewing area. As you can see, I'm kind of missing some water in this bucket, but I changed our brewing area a little bit. Ooh, and our mushrooms are growing. Great. That right under here, we have an infinite water source. So I can just go ahead and dump that in there. And as you can see, I can just do this over and over and over. And now I don't believe we've gone over infinite water sources before. So let me grab a bucket of water. Step outside, and we got tons of time. Look at this. Now, you can make an infinite water source two different ways. You can either A, have water in a line or in a diagonal, where you have two water source blocks, one on one side of the line and one on the other side of the line, and then the center block here becomes an infinite water source. As you see, when I take water away, it just replenishes. If you take from the outside edges, it will not replenish. It needs to be the center one. The original infinite water source, however, was a 4-way block area, a 2x2, right? And then you would put water in each opposite corner. The nice thing about this one, although it takes up more space, is you can take water from anywhere. It doesn't matter, and the water will always replenish, okay? So this is how you make an infinite water source. Now, what I did under here is I actually just have, where am I? Let me get my bearings here. There we go. I actually just have stair blocks, right? So I have a stair block here, a stair block under this stair block, and then another one over there underneath that block there, right? And I waterlogged those two stair blocks, so the one in the middle is the only one we can access, and that is our infinite water source block. And I'll show you what I mean here. Now, what I mean by waterlogging is you can actually place water in a stair block or a slab block. There's a bunch of blocks that you can waterlog. Make sure you're not holding shift, because that will put it on top of the block, and you can just go ahead and make that that block waterlogged. Now, if I go ahead and get another bit of water here from our infinite source, and just the same way as I did before, opposite side of where it is, it will go ahead and make the center block the infinite water block. And what's nice about using stairs, in this case, we kind of hidden the water block, is you can walk over these freely without potentially walking into and falling into the water there. Now, the other thing that happened on the live stream is we went caving. We did some caving, and I actually found, for the first time ever in my Minecraft career, an enchanted golden apple in a dungeon. Now, these have about a 3.5, 3.3, something like that, % chance of spawning in a dungeon chest. So we got super lucky. I've been playing this game since it released, pretty much. And that's my first enchanted golden apple. They're kind of rare. I'm super excited about that. So that was ridiculously awesome. I'm really glad that we found that. However, I wanted to show off some of these potions that we made and what they do. So let me grab a night vision and a fire resist potion. And the fire resist potion, we can thankfully just head right on over here to our local lava pool and show this one off. So as we talked about earlier, you can just go ahead and hold down right click to drink this potion. And now you'll see in the top right corner, I have a little fire shield, right? And that says that I have an effect. Now, if I hit my E key on my keyboard and pull up my inventory, I now have fire resistance for another 7 minutes and 46 seconds, right? And this will just continue to tick down. Also, we have these little squiggly thingies coming out of us, and these are like effects, potion effect squigglies. Anyways, what this allows us to do is just walk directly into this lava and eventually sink down to the bottom. Interesting thing about lava is you can breathe in lava for some reason. I'm not really sure what that's about. But yeah, we can just hang out in this lava for 8 minutes, which is actually pretty fantastic. You swim excruciatingly slow in lava, so you need to be careful about that. And another thing, as you can see, I'm still on fire. Okay, it went away. But the longer that you stay in lava, the longer you will stay on fire once you get out of it. So you can just go ahead and find some water. If you're in the Nether, you just kind of have to hope that you go out eventually, right? But yeah, that's a fire resist potion. They're just unbelievably helpful. You should bring them in your inventory all the time. All the time. You never know when you're going to accidentally jump into a pool of lava or lava's going to fall down on top of you. It's just so good to have them on you all the time. Now, the next potion I want to show off is the night vision potion that I have in my hand here. And this is kind of the perfect place to do it because we have this this difference between light and dark, right up here. And I'm going to go ahead and hold down right click and take this potion. Bam. Wow. Look at the difference between these. It even makes this so much brighter. And I want to show underwater as well, because underwater, this I think is an unbelievably necessary potion. Now this down here, we've barely lit up any of it. That is not lit up at all. Oh, look, a spider jockey. Cool. Sometimes skeletons will spawn riding on top of spiders. That's pretty cool that we saw one. But I'm going to go jump into the ocean for a second. Bear with me while I go and find some water. Oh, and also something to keep track of and something to think about is, as you can see, it's almost nighttime here, but we can't tell because it looks like daytime. It's so stinking bright. So when you have a night vision potion, you need to be careful that you're making sure you keep track of what time it is. So either look up in the sky for the sun, or look over where the sun usually sets and take a look at the clouds, because they will be that beautiful pinkish, purplish, amberish color. But let me go ahead. You know what? We can actually go under here. We don't have a water breathing potion, but we can jump down in here and just see. It is so much easier to see underwater when you have a night vision potion. It's really helpful for underwater builds or exploring areas that you didn't explore before. Like under here, I didn't realize there was this little channel coming through this pond. It's actually really pretty. I'm going to go ahead, while we're down here, pick up some of this clay, because I don't think I have picked up clay before. Nope, look at that. And clay is really nice because you can use it for certain things, like you can cook clay into terracotta, or if we were to use a non-silk touch shovel, we would get clay balls, and we would be able to cook those down into bricks. And bricks you can use to either make brick blocks, or you can... Oh, I'm about to drown. Make brick blocks, or you can use them to make things like flower pots. There we go, flower pots. Jeez, I just cannot remember anything today. Now, how do we get out of here? Oh, there we go. Let me show that off here as well. If you ever find yourself stuck under the ice, right, everything looks exactly the same. The way you can tell where the exit is you can kind of see there that the ice looks a little bit different, right? But we're not going to be able to get out of here because we can't actually jump up to that block up there. So we're just going to have to come under here and silk touch more of this ice out of our way, unfortunately. So I wanted to show this off. You can actually change the composition of a potion as well. So if you throw one in here, you can go ahead and change that out and like throw, you know, put a piece of gunpowder in there, and you can make a splash potion. You can even do multiple different potions, right? You can go ahead and change that on as well. And it's a good thing to note that the ingredients actually won't go away until it has fully brewed that particular potion, right? And there's just a couple of other things that I wanted to go over, and one of them was splash potions. So just like throwing snowballs, you can go ahead and throw potions as well, splash potions, when you make them with gunpowder. Now, if I were to right click, I would lob this potion, and it would probably land somewhere over there, and whoever was close to the point of where it landed, they would get night vision, right? Now, if I show night vision, I'm about to lose my fire resistance here, right? But we have 2.5 minutes of night vision. If I just lob this up in the air and splash it down on top of me, we go straight up to 8 minutes of night vision again, right? So that's kind of a way to use splash potions to your advantage. They're much quicker than drinking the potions, splash potions are. So if you are in a fight, let's say fighting the dragon or the wither, usually it's a good idea to bring splash potions with you, because you can just toss it in the air real quick, get the effect, and go on your way doing what you want. Now, let's say you have an effect that you no longer wish to have applied to you anymore. I either don't want this night vision, or I just actually killed some pillagers over here, right? And if you kill the pillager captain, the guy that's holding on to the banner, you'll get a bad effect called Bad Omen. And let's say you want to get rid of these effects. You can go over with a bucket, an empty bucket, and right-click on a cow, and you will milk a cow, okay? So now we have a bucket of milk, all right? And you can go ahead and just drink it. And drinking milk will get rid of any potion effect that you have applied on you. Actually, it gets rid of any effect at all that you have applied on you. The only things that I think will just... It won't work on because they'll just automatically refresh are things like conduit effects or beacon effects, etc., etc. But ladies and gentlemen, I believe that's all we've got for potions today. Potions are relatively simple things. The only thing you need to remember is you usually need to make an awkward potion first with the Nether Wart, and then use that chart. Make sure you're using that chart to create whatever potion you want. Gunpowder makes it a splash potion, redstone makes it last longer, and glowstone, if it can, will make the potion effect stronger, okay? So obviously the two potions we used, night vision and fire resistance, I couldn't make those stronger because they happen. I can just make them last longer. But you can make strength potions which use blaze powder, and you can make strength 2 potions using glowstone that will make you even stronger still. It's great. So what I mean by that is I now have some strength potions here, potion of strengths, right? I'm going to go ahead and plop some glowstone dust in there so that way I get strength 2 potions, okay? I'm going to go ahead and grab some redstone as well. These should be done in just a second. Now it gives you +3 attack damage, all right? And this glowstone dust is going to make it potion of strength 2, which will give you... I think it's +6. It is +6, okay? And it only lasts for 1 minute and 30 seconds. So I believe it reduces the duration by half, but it gives you strength 2. Now, if I were to put this in here, as you can see, it's not brewing anything. And the reason for that is you can only either extend the time by using redstone dust, or you can make it stronger by using glowstone dust. You cannot do both. You can still use gunpowder in order to make it a splash potion. But you can either do redstone or glowstone. You can't do both. But ladies and gentlemen, we are all done with today's episode. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you learned a lot from this. And I really hope that you guys are liking the series. Your comments and your likes are really helping me motivate myself in order to make this series, and I really appreciate all of you very, very, very much. Go ahead and like me on or follow me on Twitter at Throwlash and twitch.tv/Throwlash Gaming on Twitch. Much love to all of you, and we will see you in the next episode. Goodbye!